He says it as is. He does not have, he doesn't quote with some diplomatic kind of language. But allow me to identify two things. One is that advice is as good as the recipient. You can give me the best advice, written, well written, and well processed, well thought out. But if I don't receive it, or I receive it and ignore, then that advice is dead on arrival. The second issue is that there's been a culture in our country of trying to demean those who have gone to school and make it look like going to school is almost losing innovation. To the extent that now, like the person who is supposed to go to Goma, he said to have been up to Form 4, which is okay. He scored D, and his experience is running a petrol station. So I don't know whether there are many petrol stations in Goma that need to be coordinated in the interest of Kenya, because we have oil crisis and many other things. But what because I talked before I saw exactly where the attack by Israel was. It was in a diplomatic consulate, which is supposed to be, by international laws and norms, is supposed to be an area, even if Kenya is at war with any other country, they cannot attack our embassy in that country. Mm-hmm. That embassy is not supposed to be violated by any way. It's supposed to be somewhere which is left. So for them to have attacked the embassy and kill some of the officers at that particular embassy, that was already a mistake by Israeli. And the president should have been cautious not to say anything for the intervening period, for purposes of ensuring that we don't unravel the feathers. Finally, Fred, what worries me increasingly is that the president does not realize that he's a player in a very serious network that has a lot of foreign interests that are looking at Kenya as a possible market for their ideas, market for their goods, their services. So at the end of the day, if we don't watch, we may be doing things that are likely to go at variance with the position that Kenyans will accept as a people. Because at the end of the day, we are being exposed every day. We are being exposed, we are being laughed at by our neighbors. And without really overstretching this discussion, the fakeness that is now existing in Kenya is making Kenyans look like if you go to Uganda with certain goods, they will start by inspecting to ask you whether are they originated from Kenya or have they even gone through Kenya, if you are a Kenyan. Mm-hmm. So it is getting to a level that it is no longer proud to be a Kenyan.
Okay.
It is becoming almost that you have to give an excuse. I'm a Kenyan, but I'm a nice guy, which is really not supposed to be the case. Once you say I'm a Kenyan, in the past, even our passports, you could be accepted, almost go through and inspected. But today, to say I'm a Kenyan, you could be a Kenyan from Somalia, you'd be a Kenyan from any other country with trouble in the region, because it is easier to get a passport in Kenya for a non-Kenyan than for Kenyans.
Mm. And Bwanakisi, as we come to the end of this conversation, if you go through a lot of the comments, many Kenyans saying you're not speaking for us on this one, and you're speaking for someone else, you're being manipulated. Do you think that this administration has yielded too much to other foreign powers, probably, that even when you see